Welcome everybody to Overreaction Lunes with the Compas. I'm Fernando Ramirez. That is Gilbert Manzano. Here with you on a Monday. Gilbert, Christmas is right around the corner. You know it's after Christmas, right? Well, first off, how are you doing? Well, what's up, bro?
What's up, Fernando? I am doing well. Luckily, I woke up because yesterday I was at SoFi Stadium for that snoozer, Chargers Ravens, a boring game. But I woke up. I'm here for another amazing Lunes Lives with the Compas.
Yeah. You woke up with more freaking what's it called? More views on your Lamar Jackson TikTok than I
Wait,
did. So
did you post one too?
yeah, I posted it.
It's 'cause
I
I
posted.
remember you're next to me. You're probably posting it, so I was like, oh,
Yeah,
I
I
wonder.
posted it with like a little song or whatever,
Not didn't work.
and I thought, oh, like I might get like some play, and like yeah, I did, but like then I saw that you did it, and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, I did. Yeah, look at that.
And you had a better song too. Mm.
Yo, okay, so
And your video is actually better than mine because I started off away and then I zoomed
the
in.
media guy got in front of you, huh? Or
Yeah,
what?
so I don't know what it is, bro. It's an algorithm, but again, maybe I should teach a class about TikTok because I
No, but
am.
you've done more NFL. Like I've done more WWE stuff on
Yeah,
TikTok, so
that's
I feel like
part of
your
it too.
algorithms that. Yeah, but I was like I saw your. I was like, dude, I felt good. I was like, wow, okay, almost 6,000 views. Then I look over at yours, 25,000. I was like, all right, yeah, I suck.
You posted on IG.
I didn't post it like directly on IG. I posted it on my story.
I,
So, but
I
yeah,
feel
I
like
was
you
just
should because IG has Sneaky is pretty good at going viral. Like I had like three
by the
videos
my Keenan Allen video, the
on
one where
IG.
that Vic, the producer, helped me with it. Yeah. The one where he talks about Jerry Tillery
Oh yeah,
blasting
Reels. Yeah.
Herbert out. I have almost 150,000 views on it. So I
So
was
you
like, oh
posted as
wow.
an IG reel. Look
Yeah.
at that. See, all
So
right.
yeah.
But
So
yeah,
I
seeing
was
that video right now, that was way better than mine. I don't know what the hell happened.
oh no, but you see, so you were standing right next to me, and I feel like when you like remember the media guy kind of comes up and he's like, "Hey, let them in." Maybe the guy blocked you or maybe it was just a bad angle, but I
Maybe
was
people
like
like
right.
hearing that. Oh, he's media. He's maybe a somebody or something. I don't know. But yeah, speaking of that, I'm a somebody. Wink, wink.
Yeah,
I'm a
exactly.
person.
But real quick, Morgan, how are you doing? How are you doing? And then here we go. Here he
That's
is. I thought
here.
he wasn't gonna be here, but he
You
is.
laugh at the ear, but I'm kind of surprised, but I'm glad you're back though. I do
Yeah,
appreciate you being here.
exactly. I love this. Whatever I ask, I won't get an answer for. I answer everything. It's just that sometimes you guys ask stuff that I can't answer. I mean, I can give you an answer, but I don't know if it's the answer you guys want to hear. But yeah, I don't know. And then obviously, I think Morgan's laughing that at me for because Hilberto got more views on his TikTok than I did. But
Yeah, you should teach a class of how to go viral.
yeah, why don't you use Fernando's voice saying hi to Justin Herbert to
I
go viral?
Yeah, I built my foundation
Like
on TikTok off of your voice. I did. I'm not gonna deny that. If I ever become somebody, wink, wink, on
wink, wink.
TikTok, I will give you credit. Always do.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, but it was just it's just funny to see that we both obviously posted that video, but obviously Gilbert, it's getting closer to us being able to blast Christmas music, and then after that, New Year's, and then after that, playoffs, and then after
Playoffs.
that, the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Are the Compas Super Bowl bound yet?
Super Bowl Radio Row. Are you talking
Bound?
about?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You know,
I
that's my
mean,
favorite time of year. I do enjoy those memories that we build with your brother and with Victor and going
yeah.
on the road at Super Bowl Radio Row. It's that time of year.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like, "Oh my god!" Like last year, obviously it was in Arizona. The year before that, uh, oh my god, uh, I am blown away by right now. That's
Oh,
funny,
you could probably put that comment in transition to what do you want to ask the people?
huh? No, because that's BS. It's not
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well, whatever. But it's called professionalism, Athir.
There you go.
But obviously we have set up kind of a well, Gilbert.
Want me to
You
explain?
kind of yeah.
All
You're
right.
a little bit you're kind of
Yeah.
more into that stuff.
So before we start talking Chargers, Ravens, Bills, Eagles, just kind of a quick announcement. We're trying to get to Super Bowl Radio Row. You know, it could be costly. I know Las Vegas is not too far, but getting equipment, things like that, to get a bunch of big interviews. I don't know, maybe we get Justin Herbert this year at a Super Bowl Radio Row. But it costs money, so you guys can help out in any way. If you want to, you don't. No pressure. We love you guys all. We have a donation set up for PayPal on our main page, or I guess on all of them. What's Up Boats, House of Horns, and Compas on the Beat. You go to the main part of the channel. The page will be there for the donation. That's a cute dog, by the way, Fernando. I like how we're like trying to ask for money here, and you have the dog. Like, please help us. There's a cute dog right here. So we're trying to get to the Super Bowl Radio Row and take your lovely dog. If you can, donate. One more thing, we just added the super chat or the super like. So, Athir, you want to highlight your comments, go ahead and do that. But anything you can do, I know it's a tough time of year, but we just wanted to make a quick announcement. I feel a little weird about it, but I love all the support.
Yeah, no, and obviously we appreciate you guys. I mean, we've done some really cool stuff out at Radio Row, and we're excited about the obviously this year it's going to be in Vegas. You never know who's going to stop by. Maybe Carmen Electra, maybe Kendra Lust. I mean, you never know. Did you see that picture, by the way?
No, I was like,
Roger
you're going
Goodell
way
took a
back.
picture with Kendra Lust.
Oh, really?
There's a picture right now floating around on Twitter with Roger Goodell and Kendra Lust, and I was like,
look
dude,
for this. What
I'm
year
like,
is
that
this?
is, I'm like, that is hilarious. So definitely it was an interesting picture. But yeah, I mean, anything you guys can do, that'd be awesome. We definitely appreciate it. And obviously we try and get the best interviews and best content out to you guys. We even did NASCAR last time. So
Yeah, we did have a NASCAR interview, but people are laughing about that.
Yeah, exactly. So but obviously but all right, Gilbert, let's get into it now. Uh obviously the Chargers ended up losing 20-10. You called it a snooze fest. I actually thought it was kind of a war of defenses, a lot of back and forth between both of them. I thought Brandon Staley made some decisions. Obviously, he benched Michael Davis. He obviously went with Dean Leonard, who I thought, I mean, obviously he struggled, especially with OBJ and some other guys. But I actually thought tackling wise, I mean, he was more of a sure tackler. But yeah, it's just the secondary as a whole is just not it. I thought there were some good plays by the defense. I thought limiting a Baltimore team that it's, I mean, basically like, and well, no, I'm not going to take anything away from it, but limiting that Ravens team to only 20 points, and that touchdown came late. I mean, it was very interesting to see, but I mean, just a little too late. Obviously, the one theme, and this is what I wrote about this week, Gilbert. Let me put this fool down. The one thing I wrote about is that defenses know that the Chargers offensive line has regressed. And that's just plain and simple. Why do I say that? Miami, the Tennessee Titans, the Packers, teams are blitzing at the end of games when they know the pressure is on, because they know that not everybody can be stopped. Same thing happened last night on that fourth down.
Yeah.
And Herbert had to throw it into the ground, and that was basically all she wrote. So obviously the 3 fumbles didn't help. And one of those, you had a 19-play drive, and it stalled because of I mean, Jadeveon Clowney just put the moves on Trey Pipkins and hit Herbert. Herbert had to go to the blue 10 and everything, but it's just one of those things where turnovers hurt them. I mean, on 2 drives where you were kind of getting going a little bit, fumbles. Austin Eckler fumbled for the second week in a row. He doesn't look the same either. So it's kind of a little bit of everything, but now they're 4-7, Gilbert. But what were your impressions of the game?
Yeah, a little bit of a funky game, and honestly, I think if people don't take this the wrong way, but people are realistic too. If the Ravens are playing another team, like a team that's actually good, the Ravens would have lost that game for sure. Because Fernando, I don't know where you went to go look for the dog or whatever, but the Ravens were not good offensively, and like you mentioned, the Chargers could have made it a game much closer than whatever they had in that fourth quarter. Because when Herbert had the turnover, I saw people leaving. And then like 4 or 5 minutes later, they scored, and it suddenly it's a 3-point game. But the point is, a different team probably would have beat these Ravens. Like, it was the first game that Lamar Jackson did not have Mark Andrews. Even if they are healthy, they don't look like they're a pass-heavy attack. They have a very good defense, or a great defense, I should say. Kyle Hamilton, your boy Fernando, he stood out. He balled out. He was great on Sunday Night Football. Really good. But it was a weird game, I say, because the Chargers defense actually played well, but I'm not really sold on the Ravens passing attack. They didn't have Mark Andrews. So if you're Brandon Staley, are you saying, you know what, see, improvements are right here. We're doing something better against one of the best teams in the NFL. I don't know if you should take kind of the credit for that, but I am concerned about the offense, Fernando. People had high expectations for Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore's offense has some highs, some lows, but it feels like more lows than highs. And again, people always want to see more from Justin Herbert, but you cannot have a fumble from Keenan Allen, a fumble from Austin Eckler. You have a very inexperienced, receiving core besides, Keenan Allen, like you mentioned, 5-8 steps back from the offensive line. So this offense is also struggling. And if you're the team ownership, Dean Spanos or John Spanos, you're looking at your franchise quarterback and saying, you cannot have a performance where you have 3 points in the first half. You cannot have a performance with 10 points overall. So you have Herbert, you have a lot of talent, but it makes you feel like, okay, what can you do? And the last thing I'll say, Fernando, it felt like one of these games where like you lost with some pride. It wasn't a lot of headlines, a lot not like a chaotic press conference or anything like that. But it feels like we're slowly fading into the season to end, and then eventually they'll make a decision with Brandon Staley. I don't see a in season firing occurring like Frank Wright or Josh McDaniels, but they're just trying to go to the season. It kind of feels like a slow fade for this team. Oh,
Sorry. Yeah, Morgan's right. He said, I think you mentioned it. Moore needs better play calling, situation awareness on how to counter the blitz, and I also feel like Herbert needs more audibles in his arsenal. I understand that. The thing is, that's going to come with time. I think the whole Herbert thing. I mean, I know everybody's like, well, Phillip Rivers did it. Yeah, but you guys are talking about Phillip Rivers year 10, year 11. Like, really, when he got down to the nitty gritty. Right now, he's just he's still learning. He's still
it doesn't
going
help
into
when
that.
it's year one of Kellen Moore too. It's a new offense to him.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that's the thing. He's still understanding. I mean, he practically, I mean, is right now on his third OC since he came in.
Yeah, well,
So,
yeah, Steichen, Lombardi, and then
yeah. So he's still learning. But the thing is, and I've said this before, and Morgan, I know, will point it out. How am I trying to put this? It can't just be the Herbert and Keenan Allen show. I mean, and right now I'm gonna pull it up right now. Keenan is the last 3 games, 11 receptions, 175, 2 touchdowns, 10 receptions, 116, 1 touchdown, 14 catches for 106 yesterday. Keenan Allen and Herbert right now are obviously doing well. It's just the rest of the offense needs to pick it up, and I just feel like they haven't picked it up. And I just don't know if they can pick it up. Like, let's be honest. There is talent around this team, but it's not the talent that I think everybody thought that there was before the season. Like, you have the Keenan Allen, you have Justin Herbert, and then there's a gap. Rashawn Slater. Yeah. Rashawn. And that's what we've been saying for years, though, that they're top heavy. You need that depth. That's why Tom Telesco needs a hit on 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. What? Oh, I cannot wait for Monday Night Raw tonight. And obviously, and then also you need to hit on undrafted guys. They haven't been able to hit on those guys, so that's where you get the depth. That's why the Rams are out here doing well. Gilbert, what have I been saying about that team? They're building their depth right now, and then they're gonna go get other guys. So, yeah,
if they play each other right now, for now, the Rams and the Chargers, I will pick the Rams right now, and they have less talent.
Yeah, I completely
agree.
At least
top.
So, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is that, well, you finish up with that, but or with what you're.
No, it's a good point because I think somebody, there you go, good point for me. Thank you, Morgan. But
CM Punk, CM Punk,
yeah,
CM Punk.
That's what you want to get to for Monday night. But don't forget about Vikings and Bears, okay, Fernando? It's
CM Punk.
But the point is, like, I was so bored yesterday that I'm ready to turn the page for the Chargers 2024. Like, who knows what's gonna happen with Brandon Staley and Tom Telesco? The point is, like, do you want to, like, you're getting to a point at 4-7 where, like, do you want to bother winning some of these games? I know you're not gonna try to like tank, but
Gilbert, but can they win? I don't see them winning.
Even if they try, like, Fernando, I'm gonna give you credit. You pointed to this schedule 2 weeks ago, maybe. We're like, hey, they might even win a game, and they're gonna play the Patriots on the road, which I think the Patriots have a strong chance to win. You're gonna play the Broncos at home. I think the Broncos could beat them for sure, and then play the Raiders in Las Vegas. That's gonna be a tough one. So who knows what's gonna happen for now? So what I'm trying to say is like when you look at the salary cap for next year, where you don't know what's gonna happen with the veteran core here, but it's a mess. And then like you mentioned, they're kind of top heavy. They need more talent, but they can't go out and buy talent because their salary cap is a problem. So what do you need? You need more draft picks. So if they get in a position where they have like maybe a top 10 draft pick and everybody wants a quarterback this year, I can't name them all, but the guy from Michigan or the guy from
Bo Nix,
LSU, Oregon,
yeah,
Washington.
yeah,
There's like 8 quarterbacks. You already have your quarterback. Trade that pick, get lower, and maybe get a late first round pick and a couple more second round picks, and you start building that way because you messed up the salary cap. And the weird thing, Fernando, Tom Telesco's baby has always been a salary cap. It's a mess now. What else do you need to prove, Tom Telesco, that you can't keep being the GM if you can't hit on your draft picks? If
you went all in.
He got Justin Herbert. I get that. He re-signed them. But I keep going to it. You might need a full clean house. But everybody, whenever I say that, it's like, whoa, look at the ownership. Does it even matter? I get it. Charger fans are frustrated. But I've gotten to that point where I'm thinking about 2024.
No, and I understand with you. I mean, the thing is here, I think by week 17 or week 18, even the Chiefs are going to have something to play for, the first seed.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
I feel like even they're going to play hard. I just don't see it. Like, I just don't see where. I mean, I see J.C. Jackson. I know he hasn't played all that much, but I see him making an impact this weekend. Bill Belichick is going to take Keenan Allen away from this game.
They've been so bad to score points though. But like if they get like 12 points, like the Jets game, like it could be something like that, Fernando. But they don't have the Jets don't even have the Patriots don't even have the Jets defense. So maybe they could win that one. But like you mentioned, the Green Bay game, you picked them, the Packers to win. It could happen again. I don't know.
I mean, maybe one game, maybe the Patriots, but other than that, I just don't see like right now Denver's in the hunt. And I think Denver could push for a playoff spot. So but I agree with you. And now the question is, what are you going to do with the top 4 guys? Keenan, Mike, Joey, Khalil. Khalil's earned whatever.
Yeah, he's been playing great.
He has 13 sacks. He's about I think 15 sacks is the most he's ever had in season. He could easily pass that. So what? Do you give him a 2-year extension and bring him back on a kind of a smaller deal? And then Keenan Allen obviously looks like he's earned himself a new contract, but then you have to talk about like what do you, Mike? I mean, is that his last game?
I really like Mike Williams for his crunch time play. Like when at fourth quarter, man, he just bails people out so many times.
Yeah,
but I know it's expensive too. I get it.
Yeah,
like, I agree with you. If you look at Quentin Johnson, he hasn't really progressed. Like, can Josh Palmer stay healthy? Can it be a legit guy? Like, you might have to keep 3 out of 4. The one that I'm kind of like leaning maybe not is. It's tough to say, but it's Joey Bosa. He's kind of been struggling the last 2 years, but again, he's still when he's healthy and doing well, he's at his best. So it's gonna be a tough decision all around.
Well, I'm not gonna say anything.
You're gonna make a list or no?
No. I honestly, I'm very interested to see what happens the rest of the way, but it's like you said, like I think right now they'd be what? They probably pick around 9th, 8th, 9th. I mean,
yeah,
you could either get like a stud corner. I mean, and I don't know. I mean, you have so many needs. That tight end out of Georgia, I think that tight end Brock Bowers or whatever, him and Herbert, I feel like could really. I started
worried about tight ends going that high though, Fernando.
I know.
Hockenson took a while to develop, but he hasn't done much. And then Kyle Pitts, I know he's dying over there with Arthur Smith, but it's tough. I don't know.
No, I know, but it would just be interesting to see Herbert with a tight end. It'd be because I remember when Hunter Henry was there, he loved having Hunter Henry there. I was going to say his freshman year, his rookie year, but I mean, not looking forward. Just looking at right now. I mean, yeah, they showed some grit and everything last night, but you just can tell they're just not the same team that I guess last year. Like at the end of the season, they had that fight at the end. And I just don't think, and I mean, it's funny. I talked to Kyle Van Noy after the game, and he's like, that's a damn good team over there. I know personally that's a damn good team. He's like, Ten's a hell of a quarterback. And obviously if it's coming from a guy like Kyle, I mean, he played with arguably the greatest quarterback of all time. So, but it's just, it's one of those things where what's going to happen moving forward, who knows? But I think it's going to be very hard with just Keenan contributing on offense, it's gonna be hard. But I was really surprised, Gilbert, this last draft. I know you got Tooley, I know you got some other pieces, but look at some of these tight ends that are contributing today. I mean, what's his name? Sam Laporta,
Yeah.
Musgrave, like some of these tight ends, like Michael Mayer's even, I think he's
Yeah.
getting misused in a sense over
Second
at
round pick.
yeah, I think he's getting misused over with the Raiders, but he's a good blocking tight end. That's what they're missing, blocking tight end. They're missing somebody that can contribute. And that's what I've always said. You don't have to get rid of Gerald Everett after this year. I know he's a free agent. You can bring him back and make him tight end too with another guy, or maybe whatever you want to do. But like, make sure you have a 1-2 combination at tight end, similar to what. And I mean, obviously, don't forget because I'm going to say this, but like similar to what the Patriots had with Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. I mean, you. What have I said from the beginning, Gilbert, with Justin Herbert? Get him weapons. Keep on getting him weapons. And I'm sure I saw some fans are like, I saw a hashtag on Sunday, tank for Marvin Harrison Jr. I was like, well,
if they go, what is it, 4-13? Now I don't think they'll get them because the Patriots and that Patriots game could be big for draft pick status, by the way. And then the Cardinals keep losing too.
yeah,
And the Panthers, which are the Bears.
yeah, no, and all right, Athir, give me your bold predictions, but make sure you keep it clean, dude. Chill.
Yeah, and
But well, he's with you, re-sign Mike, so definitely.
And then also too, Frown, they're gonna need a running back because Austin Eckler's a free agent, and the rushing game has been
Jorge,
horrendous.
what's up, dude?
What's up,
What's
Jorge?
up, bro?
But I don't know. It's kind of sucks that we're already looking at 2024 with 6 games to go. You know, I'm trying to find something to talk about for the weeks coming ahead. You know,
Talk about Khalil Mack. I mean, at his age, literally, the thing about him and Keenan though is that Keenan's 31. I think Khalil's 32. And they're two of the best at their positions this year, so I'm just really impressed with both of
it'll be
them.
tough to keep paying a guy that, you know, at that age too. Like, I don't know, it's gonna be
No,
interesting
yeah.
too. But having Thule does help out where you can, okay, we can only just keep one out of the two, and we have a guy on the cheap too. But yeah, like you mentioned, you definitely gotta protect Herbert. You gotta get a lot of weapons too, and you got to find a running game here. But it is kind of disappointing. Like Kellen Moore often was supposed to be like, okay, you're gonna deliver it. I know injuries occurred, but this offense really took a couple steps back too.
Athir, you were talking about bold predictions, not fantasies.
What do you say?
He said the Chargers will trade their first
Round 1,
yeah,
round
a
3, and
1,
round
a
5.
3, and a 5 for second round, and Jefferson will sign 3-year deal for less money to play with Herbert.
The second I got to Justin Jefferson, I started reading it. Like, yeah, sure.
They could have had him if the Vikings wouldn't have snuck up and grabbed him, but this is a tough one, dude. Jorge. I mean, obviously, this is a hypothetical. I hate dealing in hypotheticals, but I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know if they want. I don't know if they want the next like Sean McVay young coach, because that's kind of the way they went with Mike McCoy, and that's the way they kind of went with Brandon Staley. Or do they want somebody like a Dan Quinn, who is a defensive guy? He's been to a Super Bowl before with Atlanta.
Honestly, Fernando, Mike McDonald, the way he worked the Chargers last night, the defensive coordinator of the Ravens, like he could be a good option. Like you have so much talent on defense.
First year.
Like it's another first year, and it's more like Staley resemblance, and people won't like that. But they have so much talent on defense. What if Mike McDonald was a guy to bring that together? Because that defense is balling out.
Yeah, good thing a
Season guy.
We love a Athir here, though. We love all you guys. You guys,
but I also do. I know more on the coaching, but I do understand people wanting a hard ass because this team always kind of falls apart in crunch time, and we have somebody who's disciplined. Maybe that could work out too. But I don't know how I feel about Jim Harbaugh. Yeah, there goes a comment.
Yeah, no, that's
Bill Belichick. I think I'd rather have Bill Belichick than Harbaugh. I don't know. It's kind of.
Would you really?
Yeah, because he's been doing it in the NFL.
They both read other people's signals.
Hey, you got to win somehow. I'm sure your brother's on board as long as they win. Who cares?
No, I know that. Oh, dude, I'm not even gonna tell. Like you, if you would have been in that car with Eric and Dan and everybody, like you would have gotten a kick out of some of that stuff. But I was telling Dan, I was like, one day we gotta like just put the phone up and like start recording like our conversations. Then he's like, yeah, right. And I started laughing. But yeah, I mean, Yeah, okay, another
People want
Harbaugh.
Harbaugh. We should make a poll. Harbaugh, Bill
Harbaugh.
Belichick, Mike McDonald, Frank Smith. Who
Ooh.
else? We do not want Bill, who will bring.
That's
Yeah, that is a fear there. You
that
bring
is
in a.
actually a really good point.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. But all right, before we move on though, I just wanted to. I know somebody wanted it, so here you go. Here's your picture.
Oh,
Roger Goodell and Kendra Lust. Just so nobody
so
thinks I was lying.
was that on
Uh,
Thanksgiving?
yeah, I think yeah, it was on Thanksgiving. So
You think he
uh,
has any idea who she was or she is?
she's a legend in the industry. I'm sure he knows.
Okay.
I'm sure he has Twitter.
We need that picture with Dolly Parton too. Where's that one?
That Dolly Parton stole the show. I mean, W. The commissioner doesn't usually get W's.
I know.
He usually takes L's, but I guess we're giving our compa from Chile is giving him a W for that one.
Nice. I forgot to even put this on. Yeah, I'm off my
My
game today.
second bold prediction: Purdy will win the Super Bowl and set the market with $56 million a year. Like you were on the Ravens bandwagon. Now you've jumped on the 49ers. Did Gilbert convince you?
Yeah, he saw Mark Andrews get hurt. Like, oh, I'm out of here.
I do remember when Harbaugh was a Charger. Hey, did you guys ever watch that show, that Disney Channel show, The Jersey? Jim Harbaugh was actually in that show. I think I remember. There was a Disney Channel show where Harbaugh actually showed up, and he was a character in one of those shows. I remember him because he was in a Charger jersey. But it was just funny to see. It's like an old show where kids would put on a jersey and they turn into the player that
really?
they were. Yeah, that they like.
Somebody
So
turned into Jim Harbaugh, the Charger player.
Okay, I don't remember how Jim Harbaugh came into that. I just remember Jim Harbaugh on the show. But like it was like a Monday night game, and Steve Young was out there playing, and he was struggling. And the kid put on the jersey, and he turns into Steve Young, and he leads them on like a game-winning drive. It was such an interesting show. I mean, it was a pretty cool show. But yeah, it's old, very, very old school. But all right, Gilbert, let's get on to other pressing matters. Again, we appreciate you guys so much for jumping on here and hanging out with us on Monday.
Where's our logo? There we go.
Yeah, it's back. Gilbert, this game, man, it had everything. And I know it has some people on Twitter pissed off, but Philadelphia and Buffalo, 37-34 overtime win. Jalen Hurts, 18-31, 203 touchdowns. He had 14 carries, 65 yards, 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen, 29-51, 339, 2 touchdowns. He also had 9 carries for 81 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Gilbert, is it time to put Jalen Hurts in the MVP consideration?
Yeah, after that epic performance against the Bills, where he beat out or outdueled Josh Allen, yeah, definitely. And they're 10-1 too. That's the biggest thing I think, Fernando. When a quarterback is on the most winning, the team with the most wins, there you go. They usually get the MVP. And I know people. I saw a lot of comparisons, like graphic charts between like, Purdy or other quarterbacks and how they're better than Hurts. But Hurts is leading the charge for the 10-1 Eagles. So I got no problem with that right now with Jalen Hurts. And I'll say this about the Eagles, and we've been saying this every single week, Fernando. Like they still haven't showed us their best, and they keep finding ways to win. Like Jake Elliott making a 59-yard field goal in the rain with so much pressure on the line. Like we all, like I was talking to Tyler Dragon in the press box. We all said it's a miss.
Paint the scene in the press box.
Where everybody just kind of like, oh crap, he made
Everybody
it.
was watching.
So we were all expecting a missed kick there for Jake Elliott. And it kind of just tells you some teams. I think the broadcast was like, "Oh, you have the winning DNA." And I'm like, some teams it's kind of cheesy. They do have. They just find a way to win. Unfortunately, the Chargers don't. Sorry to say that, but the Eagles, no matter how like dire situation is, they just find the way. No matter if they have like a fumble from Hurts or whatever, besides the Super Bowl, they find a way to win the game there. But to go and beat the Chiefs and the Bills in the same week, Monday Night Football, and then end it with that epic thriller in overtime, Fernando. It says a lot about these Eagles, man. And I think we're going to talk about the 49ers in a bit. And I know you feel some type of way about the 49ers, but I think you were saying that, you know what, no matter how well the other team is playing, the Eagles are going to find a way to win. And I'm with you with that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Jorge, your question about Harbaugh, we will get to it when we switch over to the 49ers. I will
Okay.
answer that one. So Jorge, just sit tight and I will. Morgan says, I wish that more would call the plays of the Eagles. Hurts has to be the MVP. By the way, have you seen all the trash talking on Nick Sirianni this week that he acts childish and that
Oh,
they
I
don't like
love
the
it.
way
I
he
love what
is?
he's doing,
I
talking
love
crap
the
to the
way that
Chiefs fans.
you know what's crazy? I loved last year they're playing the national anthem, and he used to be a wide receivers coach for the Chargers. He used to be like you're talking about making your way all the way up and coaching in a Super Bowl. Like the way the tears roll down his eyes. I mean, I'm the one calling people soft, this, that, whatever. I thought that was a great moment for him, and that just showed the level of getting up there. I like that he's brash. I like that he talks crap. I like all that stuff. So I definitely am.
He went over to the Bills locker room to go shake Sean McDermott's hand because he
Yeah,
couldn't find them after. That tells you the type of man he is,
yeah,
man.
yeah. No, and it's just because I remember after the Chiefs game, he's like, "Where's all that noise at?" or something like that. So I
Hey, fans are
definitely.
ruthless, man. Like on the sideline, so you could dish it back too. Why not?
Well, somebody was saying that they were talking that somebody was like opposing fans were talking crap and that they were jawing back and forth and everything. So yeah, no, I completely see how it is. I mean, people like to talk crap, but then like when you get crap talked back at you, it's like, oh, okay, no, relax. This, no, you're gonna talk crap back. So, Morgan, I kind of feel like this too that the Eagles kind of have a little something. But going back to your comment about the way Moore calls, that's Nick Sirianni and just the way he's kind of set the culture there with the Eagles. That's why I tell people their first press conference, don't go off of that stuff. Like I remember the media was crapping on Sirianni, and now they found out, like, yeah, he was the one that obviously on the Pat McAfee show that make fun of him. They got that dog in them, and they do stuff like that. But Nick Sirianni, like he knows his stuff. Look at Shane. He brought in Shane Steichen. He gives up play calling duties to him. They go to the Super Bowl. Now Shane Steichen has the Colts rolling. I think right now they're in the playoff
Yeah,
picture.
number 7.
And he doesn't even have AR5, Gilbert's boy. He has Gardner Minshew.
Yeah.
That defense is doing well. The offense is moving the football. Michael Pittman Jr. from USC is now a number 1 receiver for them. So it's just one of those and I just think that 100% right here. Yeah, Steichen is proof that coaching matters. It does. And that's the thing. I remember when Steichen was here, and again, this is just what I remember seeing from Charger fans. They were not happy with him. They weren't happy with some of the stuff that he was doing. But it's like if you gave him a little, but they were efficient. The offense was efficient. They were scoring points like crazy. They were moving the football. They were doing a lot of good. And yeah, Steichen may not be everybody's cup of tea, but the guy gets stuff done.
Even his Herbert's rookie year, when they were rolling with him offensively, they were giving all the credit to Pep Hamilton, not Shane Steichen. I'm like, what are we doing here? This guy's the one that's calling the plays.
Yeah, no, 100%. And you could tell that Steichen, we talked to him at the Super Bowl last year, and he said, he's like, man, I love Jay Herbert. I loved coaching him. He's and look at who he's had his stamp on. Now Justin Herbert, then you go to Jalen Hurts, and now you're kind of hoping that
he had Richardson ready to go. He just can't say healthy.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Oh, dude, Tyron Johnson. That's the guy that everybody loved. Charger fans adored and loved. But yeah, no.
That's a Steichen credit, right? For the way he played. And
I'm
trying to remember the year. Yeah.
He went over to the Raiders and he wasn't the same player.
Yeah.
Now I don't even know if he's in the league anymore. So I completely
I think there's another Tyron Johnson with the Bills. Might be a different name. I forget.
Maybe. But yeah, and I understand. I mean, some people were saying that the officiating was terrible in this game, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I just don't know if Sean McDermott's the guy. I mean, if I was Buffalo, like I've heard some people say run it back. I wouldn't. I would go find a coach that could dial up stuff for my quarterback so my quarterback can limit the turnover. Somebody who can bring him back down to, because that turnover yesterday near on their side of the football field, that was inexcusable.
You know what was annoying
like that
though?
happening. Go ahead.
When they got the Jake Elliott field goal, they had 20 seconds of Bills to do something, and they just sit on the ball and say, "All right, let's go to overtime." aren't you the same freaking team that lost to the Chiefs in 13 seconds? Like,
I
didn't
think
you just
I think Allen is 0-6 in overtime games.
like what are we doing? You had a chance to end the game with the ball in your hands. Everybody complaining about the coin flip and trying to change the rules. You had
That
20
Chargers
seconds.
Bills game is going to go into overtime.
And then maybe I guess may has to be the one win
And
for
in
the
a tie.
Chargers.
And in a tie.
For a second, I thought Bills Eagles gonna end in a tie. I'm like, I
So
hate
did I.
ties. One of the things I hate the most about the NFL is ties. Get rid of them. But yeah, I hated that too, Fernando. Like the 20 seconds there, I'm like, you just lost to the Broncos and on a last second weird flag. Like, just throw the ball up. You never know. Like, throw the ball and maybe it'd be like get you in field goal range and then you get a DPI. Like, do something. So I'm tired of these Bills, man.
You
But
know what I'm
they're
tired.
frustrating though, Fernando. They're
Yeah,
really
yeah.
talented, but they don't win their games.
You know what I'm tired of? The narrative around Jalen Hurts and Justin Herbert, just because they don't show emotion like every 10 seconds. Like
Oh.
they were like, I saw some people crapping on Jalen Hurts. So like, here he is when Jake Elliott hit the 59-yard field goal and he's just sitting there. And I'm kind of like, I mean, and I'm not trying to compare him at all. Remember what Kobe said in that press conference, the job's not finished. That's where Jalen Hurts has sat there and watched the opposing team celebrate a Super Bowl, and he got to stand there and he watched them celebrate and the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. He is hungry. Like, he's in it. He if emotion mattered that much, Baker Mayfield would be an all-pro.
Yeah. I think your boy Baker's
Yeah,
from Tampa Bay.
that's Sean McVay's boy. But the Falcons are crazy. I don't understand that whole division at all. But what I was gonna say is Jalen Hurts is hungry, and that's why he has that poker face, because I think he's getting ready to only celebrate once this season. He wants to celebrate in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Obviously at the Super Bowl, not in Vegas at casinos or anything. I just mean,
I don't even think he parties, bro. He's so dedicated to
no.
football.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying is that he is not going to celebrate anything until he's hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. So, I mean, I think that's the mentality that the whole Eagles team has. Remember, a couple of years ago, they put dog masks and they were like, we're canines, we're dogs, we're coming for this. And I think they're really hungry for that Super Bowl. I know Doug Peterson got them there. But I think this is kind of their shot to go. But now you ask Gilbert, what's up with the Bills?
I don't know, man. Because when I kind of was making a joke when I wrote about this game. I was like, they gave us a Super Bowl preview. It's just the one problem: the Bills might even make the playoffs. So what am I doing here? So I guess the point is like they have a high potential, man. And like even if their defense is thin, yeah, they make a couple turnovers, but like if they make the playoffs, Fernando, they're gonna scare the crap out of any team they play. The Ravens, the Chiefs, the Dolphins, whatever team it is. They're gonna push it to the end. They might screw it up at the end in overtime, or they might screw it up with a turnover or whatever it is, or Sean McDermott calls the wrong play or whatever, or has 12 men on the field. I could keep going on and on, Fernando, or bad DPI, but they're gonna scare the crap out of a team where, hey, maybe like somebody actually I read a comment. Somebody said they're kind of like the Packers when the Aaron Rodgers days were like they always kind of found a way to get in, and they were terrible rosters, but people were always picking them because they had Aaron Rodgers. I'm not saying Allen is that type of quarterback, but they kind of have that fear in teams like, okay, we got to watch out for that team. But they're not. I don't know if they're gonna make it for him because I think after the bye week they play. I think I saw the Chiefs. They play the Dolphins, and there's somebody else they play that's gonna be difficult. The Cowboys too. So you need to beat these teams, and then you're asking for meltdowns from the Texans, the Broncos, the Colts, the Steelers, the Browns. All these teams you're trying to play catch up with. You think it's gonna break the Bills' way? I don't see it.
At Chiefs, Bills come there. At Chargers, Patriots come there, and then finish at Dolphins. Gilbert, even that Chargers game is going to be hard. Let's be honest. The Chargers play everybody tough. So
you might go 3-3, and that's not enough. I feel like
that's a 9-8 season. No, they're 6-6.
Yeah, so it'd be they have 5 more games then because they have the bye week. I forget. So maybe
so
they go 3-2. Is that enough? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
The Colts, the Broncos, and the Texans all have easier schedules. I know the Browns and the Steelers are iffy because they don't have a quarterback. But they find ways to win games.
No, I completely agree. All right, Gilbert, let's head over to the 49ers. Before we get into the 49ers, Jorge, getting into this. So the thing about Herbert's personality is I think he's good with the players, but it's just like the media aspect of it and all that. Like he's just like he wants zero to do with any of that. He just wants to coach his team. That's kind of the thing. I think he's kind of like Bill Belichick-esque, where with the media, he like maybe if you ask him about a long snapper, he'll give you a 9 minute soliloquy on that. But I don't think he's going to give you much else. So that's kind of the thing about his personality. He's just a tough guy. He's like John Harbaugh. He's like Bill Belichick. He's just tough with everybody around. Like he shows a tough exterior, but I'm sure when he's around the players, he's a little bit more like loose. Like you saw him with the 49ers, he would put on gloves and he would warm up with the receivers or warm up with the cornerbacks or do different stuff like that. So that's kind of what I've heard about the way.
Look at how
Jim Harbaugh.
excited the Michigan coaches and players were to be Ohio State, and they kept saying Harbaugh for you. So that's a good sign.
100%, and that's what you want. Like honestly, like, well, I'm not gonna. I don't want to get into that, but I'm gonna say like his mentality is gonna be like F the media, F the noise outside. It's just us against everybody. So
I just worry that he's been out of the NFL game for too long. That's kind of concerning to me, Fernando.
Yeah.
But one quick thing that maybe I'm not really on the Belichick bandwagon, but I would love for you to talk to him at the podium and crack a smile every now and then when everybody's like frustrated with Bill Belichick, and then you come in with a question and he kind of like, that's a good one. That's it.
You know what's funny? I think I still have the audio. I asked Bill Belichick a question a couple of years ago when we were doing those radio things, and I asked him, I'm like, oh, what do you think about Hunter Henry? He's like, man, he's like good. I asked him, like, you've always raved about Hunter Henry in the past. Like, just what are your thoughts on him? He's like, oh, you've done your homework. He's like, yeah, I've scouted Hunter Henry since he was in high school, and he just went on a huge like thing about him, and I was like, oh wow, I was like, okay, and I mean, Bill's nice to opposing
opposing players. He's good about
because I've dealt with him a couple of times when it comes to that. But when it's just like media that covers his team, he's just going to be a little bit more serious. But yeah, I think I don't know. Could I be the one that cracks the Bill Belichick code? I don't know. It'll be
he's in LA, sunny LA. Maybe maybe he's cool with that. He's kind of laid back, so who knows? But yeah, I like how we're already talking about coaching changes when there's still 6 games ago or 5. I forget.
Well, no, I was just talking about Bill Belichick, the person.
I know, but we're naturally
the one bringing that up.
We're naturally shifting that way. And
the 49ers beat the Seahawks 31-13. Brock Purdy 21-30, 209, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Christian McCaffrey 19 carries, 114, 2 touchdowns. Deebo Samuel 4 carries, 15 yards, 1 touchdown. Deebo 7 catches, 79 yards. On the other side, Geno Smith 18 for 27, 180. That looks like 4 interceptions, but it's only 1. There's a smudge on my computer. Really couldn't get anything going. I mean, Smith and Jigba 2 catches, 41. Metcalf 3 for 32. Lockett 3 for 30. Gilbert, are the 49ers back to being that powerhouse that that would be interesting. Dan and Dago can crack Belichick. Wouldn't you love that? Just a sit down between Dan and Dago and Bill Belichick. That'd be
talk about blocking. I'm sure he would love it.
Oh yeah, that'd be an interesting one. But Gilbert, are the 49ers back to being are they a different team now? Are they starting to catch fire and get ready to go on a postseason run?
Yeah, they are the most dominant team in the NFL right now, but I'm going to give you a big but, Fernando. But they're kind of in a way like the Dolphins where everything needs to go right. The game script, players being healthy. They don't want a dirty game. They don't want it to be like they're physical defensively, but they need to follow their script. They can't fall behind. And when they play the Eagles this week, like if it gets rainy in Philadelphia, it's going to be a muddy game, physical. I worry about the 49ers. They're a finesse team. And I love that quote that I saw from Hassan Reddick. We're like, all the 49ers have been doing is yapping and crying. What could have happened with Brock Purdy being healthy? We'll come into Philadelphia and get a win. So I'm so excited to see the 49ers at the peak of their powers where Brock Purdy is balling. The defense is on point. Everything is clicking right now. But when the game gets a little dirty, I want to see what the 49ers do respond. Like if they do something, like even if they keep it close, Fernando, and they push the Eagles to the brink, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna back the 49ers. But if the Eagles just keep playing their type of football, Nick Sirianni, doing what he wants, and Jalen Hurts balling out, then I'm sorry. The conference is over. It's gonna be the Eagles because they keep finding ways to win. Like you mentioned, Jalen Hurts is on a mission. But I am so excited the 49ers are peaking right now. Like I think I just saw a stat for now. The Eagles have been outgained like the Steelers a little bit. The last 4 weeks, they've won all the games. So they're not playing perfectly. The 49ers are because I think Brock Purdy had the first perfect passer rating in 49ers history since Joe Montana in the 80s. So things are looking really nice.
Yeah, not a bad.
Yeah. So when I heard that, I'm like, okay, Purdy, top 7 quarterback. I said that not too long ago.
We should redo that list. That'd be interesting.
Do it again. He's top 5 somehow.
Yeah, exactly. I'm interested to see what the 49ers do this weekend. I think I can't really speak on if they're back or not because I need to see them against the Eagles. I keep on telling you guys what the Eagles are doing is, and I know everybody's going to talk about the flags, this, that, the refs. I mean, the refs have been a conversation for years. And it's funny because Dante, he tells me, he's like, you have to, I can't remember who said it, but I can't remember which coach said it, but you have to be a Super Bowl champion, you have to overcome even the referees. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. But this weekend, I think it's a Sunday night game, right?
I don't know. Actually, good question. How the schedule?
I think it is a Sunday night game.
And real quick, Fernando, on your guy Dante, it's always funny to me because like I love him because you guys are always joking, and it makes me laugh when you guys are joking around. But I love when he gets serious. Like, hey, can we talk a little boxing, or can I ask you about this? I'm like, oh, like it's always kind of like a fast transition when like we're like kind of shooting the crap. And I'm like, hey, what you think about that fight? I'm like, oh crap, I actually do want to talk about that. So I love that he's always asking me about boxing. You know, one thing that I'm a sucker for, Fernando, is boxing conversations.
Yeah. Oh, Athir, you're right. It's Chiefs at Packers, I think is the 5
it's the 125 game, the 49ers Eagles. So
Athir, thank you. And no, you know what's funny? Dante actually, like, he doesn't respect a lot of people's boxing, like, because I mean, you know how he is, but he jokes around a lot. But he's like, I actually love talking boxing with Gilbert. I was like, oh really? He's like, yeah, he is. He's like, Gilbert and I, he's like, I like getting into it and I like breaking down all that stuff. And I'm like, oh, I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah. Good debate of Canelo and Dave Benavidez, who will win. I'm backing Benavidez right now. He's
that's interesting. That's gonna be he doesn't think the fight's gonna happen, but it'll be interesting to see if it does. But going back to the 49ers, this is a big game this weekend, and that's all I'm going to say. This is a big game. We'll see what kind of a team they are, who really is going to go out there. But what I'm saying about the Eagles is that team at the end of games, when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, they stop teams. And I know they give up a lot of yards, they do all that, but when it comes down to the end of the game, their defense is always the one that comes up. I mean, they were able to stop the Bills to kick a field goal, and then the offense came in and scored the touchdown. But real quick, are you worried about Seattle?
Oh, definitely worried about them. I think they're still going to find a way to make the postseason, but I'll put it this way, Fernando. They already lost to the 49ers. If they go 0-4 for the stretch where they play the Cowboys on Thursday, they play the 49ers in Santa Clara, then they play the Eagles. If they go 0-4, I don't want to see you in the playoffs because you can't compete with the top dogs. Yeah, you might beat the Lions, but I don't want to see you in the playoffs. So get out of here.
Bro, they could lose at Titans on December 24th, too.
Yeah. But it could be a thing where like maybe they would lose all 4 and they win their last 3 games and still find their way in because you got to trust the Packers and the Rams to handle business. And I don't know how I feel about that.
Fernando, please tell Dan and Dago I have a seat available in my bus for You're trying to convince me about the Ravens. You want to try and convince Dan and Dago. That's going to be the hardest. Dan and Dago is not, he's tough to convince on that. Like, he's pretty set in his ways when it comes to that. But
moving on.
What's up?
Moving on, or you got Seahawks thoughts?
No, they need a quarterback. Plain and simple. I mean, they need a guy. That's why that's exactly. Their defense was suspect. And that's why they went to go get Chase Young. And it's a good move. And that's why I'm saying, like, this weekend is going to be a defensive matchup. We'll see which defense is better and which offense can not turn the ball over and do well. But both running backs are explosive. DeAndre Swift, Christian McCaffrey. They're obviously not in the same conversation, but still. They need a new quarterback. That's plain and simple. They need a quarterback. I think possibly they could lose the next 5 games. They even play the Steelers. I think the Steelers defense will play them tough. But maybe they can move up and grab a quarterback or something. That's all I know their defense has kind of been up and down. I think they have some good pieces on the defense. But I really do think that they need a quarterback. But yeah, let's move on.
Real quick, Fran, because it got me thinking how all these Seahawks fans got mad at us for discussing the Russell Wilson trade and revisiting. What I think it's fair now with a 5-game winning streak and the Seahawks.
We said that the Seahawks had won it.
Yeah, we said the Seahawks are still winners of the trade, but like I'm getting so annoyed now. Like, okay, Seahawks, if you have no quarterback for the next 3-4 years and you've done nothing, I'm starting to say it's gonna even trade because you ruined it by not using those draft picks on a quarterback. I'll just say that.
Well, a couple of weeks ago, Lions fans got mad at Dan and Dago and I because we said that Jared Goff was like an average, a little
He's
bit
been
above
terrible
average,
lately.
I guess. Then we said that Lamar Jackson hasn't been all that good, that there's still up and downs with him. Up and down yesterday. Yeah, they're winning games, but it's still up and down. So, I mean, I
love
get
reading the comments on What's Up Bolts videos because for some reason you guys trigger the opposing team every single week. I love it. I don't know how you guys do it. We gotta do that more in House of Horns. Talk crap about the opposing team.
I don't know how we do it, but like opposing fans are the ones watching and they get angry. Like it is so but like read the headlines of our
you have a good headline. I think you draw them in with the opposing team take and they get all butthurt,
But they get so mad. I'm like, okay, like I'm not even like we're like I said, the Ravens defense is suffocating. The offense might be too much for the Chargers to handle. But Dan and Diego says something about Lamar, and people get so mad. I'm surprised that Thier didn't leave a comment over there.
The quick jokes from Dan that gets them going. I bet
I
they
know,
watch like 10 minutes of it and like, who is this guy?
I think that's what pisses them off is the way he is, but he's unapologetic. And it's funny. Sometimes I get a little bit nervous. I'm like, hey, don't read the comments. What the hell do I care? And then I just start laughing. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, because you and I can handle it. We've gotten crap from people for years, but like I'm just like, hey, make sure you kind of I don't care. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like I'm like that guy is made of stone. So but yeah, let's go real quick, Gilbert, to the Jaguars and the Texans. Gilbert, this was a really good game. I was very impressed by the fight in the Jaguars. They lost Cam Robinson, their left tackle, for a bit, but CJ Stroud did not turn 26 of 36, 304, 2 touchdowns. He had 6 carries for 47 yards, 1 touchdown. Collins, 7 catches, 104, 1 touchdown. Calvin Ridley, 5 catches, 89 for 1. Trevor Lawrence, 23 of 38, 364. What did you make of this game?
Yeah, I want to say that the division's over because the Jaguars have a 2-game lead, and the Texans they're good. They're just a year away. And before I get to the Texans real quick, I kind of want to give the Jaguars, some love, and I kind of want to take them seriously too because they got Trevor Lawrence going, they got Calvin Ridley going. When those two guys are balling out, they're up there with the Chiefs and the Ravens. So I do respect them on that. I don't like that they got beat down by the 49ers. For me, that could be a wake-up call. And you know what? That was a turning point. For the Texans, real quick, they are young. That missed field goal did hurt. They were right there to win the game. But for whatever reason, when CJ Stroud wasn't throwing a Tank Dell, the Jaguars did a good job of taking away the other weapons, like the Nico Collins. And they're one-dimensional for now. They can't run the ball. That one game that Devin Singletary had was good, but that was one game. So they got to get a running game, a little more production defensively. But I think the Texans can still make the wild card. You're going to battle with the Colts, by the way. My Texans against your Colts would be pretty fun to watch. But the Jaguars are still a team to beat in Jacksonville.
I guess he jumped off the Colts bandwagon when AR5 got
I did. I was like, oh, CJ Stroud over there? I like that rookie better.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely see what happens with them, but I'm impressed with both teams. I think right now the Texans are in the driver's seat to make it.
Wild card.
The only thing is
the Colts have a tiebreaker. I think the Colts beat the Texans, right?
Yeah, they did. The Broncos go there next week. Then they go to the Jets. They go to the Titans. The Browns come there. The Titans come there, and then they finish at Colts. Damn, I know. Obviously, they should run the table and everything, but that's going to be a tough schedule. The Broncos right now are rolling, dude. Like they really are motivated, and yeah, 100%.
Who would have thought that after the 70-20 game?
I think Dan and Dago did say though, like,
really? We gotta watch the film on that one. He's been taking so many victory laps that I'm losing track.
He really, he really has been on one, but yeah, I'm interested to see what happens here. And then obviously, Morgan's right. T-Law and the Jags are solid. The Jags defense still a work in progress. They have some playmakers. Josh Allen made the other Josh Allen. He made some key sacks late in the game, and they got pressure. They have Rayshon Jenkins. They had some good corners, but yeah, they're a work in progress. But I think they're going to turn it on a little when they get closer to the playoffs, and we'll see how they do. But I'm definitely a fear. I am take you to dinner if Kellen Moore's the next head coach.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't. Why do people want Kellen Moore back? The offense has been terrible lately. I don't
No,
know.
I don't think I don't think Athier wants him. I think he is predicting.
Oh, that's a pick. Oh,
yeah, I think he's predicting.
I would not
it
be
more than
surprised if the
anything.
front office.
But
liked him.
obviously, he's not the head coach.
Yeah,
so,
we're jumping the gun.
Yeah, you guys are jumping the gun a little bit, but again, we appreciate you guys so much for jumping on Overreaction Lunes with the compas. You guys are awesome. Morgan, Athier, Jorge, our compa from Chile, House of Horns. Thank you guys all so much for jumping on here and talking with us. You guys are definitely awesome. Please do not forget to Gilbert again.
Yeah, we're trying to get to Super Bowl Radio Row on the homepage of every channel. What's Up Boats, House of Horns, Compas on the Beat. We have a little link that says donate to Compas on the Beat. It's a PayPal link. It's not fake. I know people are talking about AI lately. I'll just leave it at that. But we're trying to get to Super Bowl Radio Row. Anything you could provide would be awesome to help out. No pressure, all love. Thank you for all the comments on the engagement. Every live, all Monday, CM Punk time. Fernando, first talk to Staley.
CM Punk. Yeah. Athier believes that Moore is going to be the head coach. We appreciate everybody. Have a good Monday. Have a good start to your week. Don't forget, CM Punk. Thank you guys so much.